I hate both of you.
Welcome to One Foot on the Ground.
This is Johnny,
This is Ashley.
and today we are watching.
Vamps.
No, we're watching Vamp, John.
Oh, Vamp.
Vamps
I'm
is
sorry,
different.
Vamp. Oh, God, I did it wrong. And I'm the one that told you.
1986.
Yes, not Vamps. With
Not
Alicia
Vamps from like
Silverstone.
2013.
Yeah, which is also fun.
It is
But
also
not today.
fun,
Not
and
today.
I already made that mistake.
That is so funny. I love that you did that. It's still one of my favorite things.
Or 2012. Vamps was from 2012.
Directed by who directed? What's her name? I love her.
Amy Heckerling?
Yeah, Amy Heckerling.
What's your problem?
What? I'm sorry, I blanked. I'm old. What do you want?
I'm just suddenly angry for no reason.
You're so angry. Oh my gosh. So yeah. Do you want to give a summary?
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot how to podcast.
I forgot to. We're winging
Not
it
that
here.
we ever like had it, but you
No,
know.
we never did.
So it's about these two dudes who are living in a dorm in college, and they want to join a fraternity that they don't seem to really actually care about, like the members at least, so much as like the housing for it, and they kind of think they're better than them, and so instead of being hazed, they just kind of like outwit the hazing. They tell the frat they will bring whatever they wanted to the party that night, make sure they have a real banger, and then they're in. They're like, these are our conditions, and so they're like, okay, and they're like, bring a stripper. And I don't know where exactly they are, but I guess there's not a lot of anything around, including but not limited to strip clubs. So they have to like drive out of town and find some strip club like off the interstate.
Where is this located? Now that I think about it.
I do not know.
Because I mean, finding a strip club anywhere I've ever lived would be very easy. So
yeah, and I mean, I've mostly lived in like Florida, like hot spots. I've never really like been to or seen a strip club outside of Florida. I mean, I guess
I have
Vegas, but I know Florida, like Tampa in particular, is like loaded with them. So I don't know what the rest of the world looks like.
Yeah, we have them.
If we're like number 2.
Yeah, we have a lot of them. I mean, they're just like down by the fast food. Like seriously.
Right, yeah, they are. They're in between the fast food restaurants on your way to Raymond James Stadium or Yankee Stadium. Yeah, they're just like they're present. They're right down the street from my favorite Cuban restaurant.
Like they usually use that as like a landmark, like like if you want to go to Sonic or whatever. Oh, it's right by 2001, a Nude Odyssey. Or where's that Wendy's at? Oh, it's by Mom's Venus.
If you're a tourist. Yeah.
No joke. That actually has happened before. And I always thought it was funny that Mom's Venus, because I think that's one of the more famous ones. But it's
included in some rap songs.
Yeah, they're right next to a pizza place, and it used to be a Wendy's. The Wendy's recently closed. So it's like sandwiched in between these two places. And we used to go to that Wendy's all the time. It was one of the better Wendy's. I don't know why it closed. But I guess not enough people came over from the strip joint to get hamburgers. But
or too many people asking for change.
Maybe. Do you want some ones?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure a place like Mom's would have like a
dollar machine.
Yeah. Or I mean, at least because they like have people on the floor selling stuff,
Oh, like
right?
cigars, cigarettes, Tibarellos.
Yes, just like that, and Red Bull.
Oh,
So
I forgot.
I would
It's
imagine
modern days.
like it's like a baseball game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She has a little tray
Like yeah,
with
like there's somebody
straps.
like rolling around with like treats, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, so
I
they
mean,
have
I
to
don't.
go out in
Yeah.
the middle of nowhere to get a stripper.
Yes, and the I don't know why they stopped where they stopped to get
Oh yeah.
coffee at night. They were there until
Oh,
sundown.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
That was terrible of me. The club was called After Dark,
Okay.
and I don't think it opened up until after dark. So they were trying to decide when After Dark was. So I think they were
Oh, so they were
waiting.
killing time
Yeah.
at the
So they were
stop.
just killing
Okay.
time at the coffee place trying to wait it out.
Oh, okay. And then it was after dark, and this one dude was like trying to hurry up and close his doors, and then some uh, stark white ruffians stroll in,
Well, just
and
the one. It was an
oh yeah,
albino
you're right. The guy they
and
called Snow or Snowflake.
yeah, and two black ladies were with him.
Yeah, and they seem to be troublemakers, and they start trouble with our protagonists. They get into a little bit of a tussle, and they create a bad impression, and so these guys are now looking for them. And I will be honest, this movie being titled Vamp, and then looking for like after like a place that's only open after dark, and the guy wanted to close his shop, like
I
as
put a
soon
big,
as like
huge
dusk hit.
wooden cross around his neck too.
Yeah, I was like, oh, these guys are the vampires, and
Yeah.
they were not.
Oh yeah, they weren't, were they? But I
No,
also have to say
they were
I was
just
impressed.
buttholes.
I was impressed by the college kid because I was like, I would have shut down. Like if somebody fucked with me or whatever, I would have been like, no. But he was pissed, and he basically got them out alive and had the upper hand. I was like, that's kind of impressive. I wouldn't have thought you could do that. But yeah, they end up. Oh, I'm sorry. You keep going.
Oh, okay. And then they go to the strip club. The the leader of the group goes in by himself first, and then the others
That's an
um,
important plot point.
that he went in by himself.
Yes.
Yes. And then the other two had gone in. One of them really just wanted to see naked women, and the other was locked out of the car and didn't want to be out there alone. And so they go in, and yeah, and it turns out where they are is actually a pit of vampires that feed on like transients and just people who are just passing through with no connections to anyone else, people who won't be missed. They wait until they either introduce them to their leader, the queen, or who is Grace Jones, the
Heck yeah.
powerful,
Heck
wonderful.
yeah. That's why we watch the
Grace
movie,
Jones.
everyone.
Yeah.
I'm not joking.
Yeah.
That is literally the selling point of this movie. Like Grace Jones will be in it. Thank you.
That well, I mean, on the cover even it's Grace Jones.
Oh yeah.
Vamp.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, and so they end up feeding the girls end up feeding their friend to Grace Jones, and did not realize that he was there. He had company.
Yes.
And
Trouble
then
ensues.
yeah, and then trouble ensues.
It is very 80s.
It is.
Very
It is
80s.
so like right down to the ball grab, like when that fight when he just like grabs his junk, and I don't know why I think that's such like an 80s thing. Maybe it's because I just watched another movie where they got into a fight and these two dudes were just grabbing each other's balls. It's like
I'd
why?
like to see that.
I think it's Tammy. Oh wait, Tammy and the T-Rex. That was in the 90s, but still.
um,
It's a Paul Walker.
yeah, I
Yeah,
don't.
grabbing some of the dude's testicles for like
I
way too
think
long.
I think this movie, it's like it's just so I don't know how to explain it. How
It's
80s it
it's a
is.
lot like Adventures in Babysitting,
Yeah,
but with
kind of.
like
Yeah,
only two locations, but like the same amount of violence.
yeah. Well, I mean, Adventures in Babysitting didn't quite have this much violence.
No. It was pretty
Nobody
violent. There was
died,
a kid
and
hanging off a building.
yeah, but nobody was murdered horribly. And um,
I don't know what movie
what do
you
we
watched,
say? What do we
Johnny.
say? How do we? Oh, goodness gracious. Well, first of all, I think one of the things about this movie, after especially watching it today, so it's fresh, um, it's one of those where modern cinema has made this movie kind of age badly. Like I don't think it aged badly in like costume sets and makeup and all that kind of stuff, and even the actors. It was fine, but it was like the way that it's paced, it doesn't work anymore. Like there was a lot of it where it was like, could you just speed this up real quick? Like I mean, this doesn't have to go on for this long. Like especially the showdown at the very very end of the movie where they're gonna obviously kill Grace Jones, and it's like it took too long. Like him with the arrow,
Oh yeah, and his
and
hand bleeding.
his
How
hand
many
started
times did they
bleeding.
show
It
us
took
that his hand was
forever
bleeding?
for the blood to trickle down to his shoe. I was like, we don't. I mean, this doesn't make sense. And I do this in movies in general, not just old movies, but like modern things that I still do this with. Where I'm like, there's people hesitating when they have to do something, and I'm like, could you
Oh,
just
hesitation
fucking
gets you
do
killed.
it? Just do it. I mean, have you never seen a movie before? Do it. Like I one of the movies I recently watched was the 21 Jump Street movie. And there was a lot of that. I was like, just shoot the person, you idiot. Like I don't think, I mean, I know that sounds horrible, but I don't think I'd have a problem doing that. Like obviously if my life depended on it, I wouldn't have any kind of hesitation to shoot someone. I'd be like, fuck you. And I'm gonna do it correctly too, because there's none of this. Oh, Zombieland, I watched that too, the double tap. Uh, and they had some of those moments too where it's like, hello, could you just fucking do the thing that you're supposed to do and not worry about this or that or hesitating? It was stupid. I was like, oh my god, people, just do it. Just do it. Even though it was Grace Jones that they were killing, and I wasn't very happy with that. But, she
I
did
do
play the
think
bad
her
guy.
I think her death scene took a little long. And
Yeah.
I was and as far as like length goes and making us watch like a particular event, I didn't I know her Grace Jones's reveal was long. Like her coming out on stage, her doing her like dance, her like shaking about on that wonderful chair. I love that chair.
Keith Haring.
Yeah.
Keith Haring did her
And
body paint for that scene, and he did the chair.
mhm.
Where is that chair? Hello?
Right.
Who has
She
that
probably
chair?
has it.
Who?
Grace Jones.
Do you think she does? Oh my god.
I think
I
she
meant
does.
to I
I'm
meant to
willing.
look.
I will bet money that she does.
I hope
Because
she
all
does.
of all of like the clothing and the decorations, like the posters and shit,
Mm-hmm.
were all hers. And I know Homeboy like did the paint for her, and they collaborated on like different art for like she took the character and made it her own.
Oh yeah.
Like
Well, I also
like
think it made sense though to give her those moments because she didn't really have anything else in this movie. Like I
yeah,
think
because she didn't speak one
she
word.
didn't speak. So it was kind of like, as much as it might seem tedious to other people, to me it was the best thing because I was like, I get to see Grace Jones doing Grace Jones. Like that's what I came for. So
Yeah.
to know in the end, I mean, obviously after the first time I watched it, and I was like, she never spoke. Like, what? Hello? Give her some dialogue.
Well, someone had pointed out to me that neither did the other vampires. None of the vampires spoke, other than what's his name? AJ.
Mm. Oh, interesting.
Like the bartender, all the other strippers,
Oh,
the little
yeah.
girl.
Huh.
I was like,
Well, they should have made that
Yeah.
clearer. But I mean, I think that's why it was, in my eyes, okay for her to have all that, because
Well, she was also very old, right?
yeah.
And through Grace Jones's performance and just like all the costume changes and such, you kind of get a sense that like, yeah, she's definitely Egyptian and definitely a bit of a narcissist because there's like paintings and such of her, and the tomb, what is it, a sarcophagus,
Oh,
has
yeah,
her
yeah.
like face in it. I loved that. I was like, oh, that's a nice little touch. But you kind of get the sense that she has lived like a lot of lives,
Yes.
you know, and so she's just like doing this like exotic dance number. She's not even stripping. Like it looked like she was about to strip, and then she was still covered with her little spirals.
Yeah.
And then she just like kept doing her interpretive dance.
Were
and
there
then, like,
any
left the
boobs
stage.
in this movie?
Yes, Candy.
Candy?
The stripper that she called herself Amaretto, Allison. Allison was jealous of whenever, what was his name? Not AJ.
I
Nick?
could not tell you any of the guys. I do like the girl, the waitress girl,
That's Allison.
Allison. Oh, because that's
Yeah.
oh, what's her name? Pfeiffer.
Dee Dee
Her last
Pfeiffer?
name is Pfeiffer. Yeah,
Dee Dee Pfeiffer.
there you go. I liked her. I thought she was fantastic.
Is she like Michelle Pfeiffer's sister?
I don't know. She was in. I meant to look that up earlier because I noticed the name, and she was also in Frankie and Johnny, with Michelle Pfeiffer. So I was like, I wonder if that's her relative of some sort. It could be.
I think it is. I think I saw something somewhere.
And it's funny too because she's so familiar to me, and it's one of those where
She is.
I looked her up and I was like, what in the world have I seen her in enough to have that? And I realized it was Sybil, the show Sybil. She's on, like, she was a regular on that show, and I was like, oh, that has to be what it is.
I felt that weight about the two dudes, AJ and the other guy. The dude who played AJ, the guy with the nice shirt, he was in Freddy's Revenge, which is the second Nightmare on Elm Street, and Weird Science. And I was like, oh, that guy.
I liked seeing him in his underwear. That was nice.
You like seeing him in what? Say that one more time for me.
Oh, where I got to see him in his underwear. That's
was he in his underwear?
Thing. At the very beginning, yeah. It was for only like a second.
Okay.
But I was like,
you're right.
Okay. I wish I looked like that in my underwear. They should have real people in movies from now on. I want to see someone like me up on the big screen.
Representation.
Can you imagine?
That's
like,
a good thing.
it would be like when Candace Bergen showed up in Sex and the City, the movie, and the whole audience is like, oh no, that's exactly what would happen if I was standing up there in my underwear. Oh, ease us into that, people. Good Lord. But anyway, yeah.
Right on.
The song, I'm kind of mad about the song because
recorded
when I watched it today, I was specifically listening as hard as I could to that section because I was like, I wonder if I can rip the audio from the scene.
Yeah,
and
I read that it's not on the soundtrack. It was not formally recorded for anything else. She had reworked it heavily into a different song
from Bulletproof
And I was like,
Heart.
oh, I bet John noticed and he's upset about it.
Oh, I am. I am. I mean, because I have all of Grace Jones' music. So, like when I saw this movie, because I had not seen this movie until what, last year maybe. It was one of those that I kept meaning to watch and I just never did. So anyway, I watched it and I was like, I don't know this song. I mean, you can like the song that she reworked, like you can hear it. I'm trying to think of what the lyric is. There's a lyric in there that she does use in the other song, and I was like, it kind of sounds like this, but it's not. What is going on? And then I looked it up, and I was mad. So I was like, I want this song, Grace. What is wrong with you? Should have been a 12-inch single with some Keith Haring art. Hello? Jeez.
Keith was the name of the other friend.
Oh,
AJ and Keith.
well, there you go.
Just.
I thought they were both cute. I think the one that lived was cuter.
Yeah, he looks so familiar, but I have not seen anything else that he's been in. I'm
didn't even
pretty
look him
sure.
up.
I was trying to dig real hard. I was like, maybe he was in Adventure in Babysitting. Maybe he was in like, I thought he may have been in some like, may have been some death in some horror movie, you know, like, but no, nothing. It was driving me nuts. He looked like he was part of like the Brat Pack.
Yeah, they were both very good looking guys. I'm surprised he wouldn't have been in more.
Right?
That's weird.
Just based
And
on looks alone.
he did a great job too. It's a fine
Yeah.
acting performance.
Yeah.
I think everybody did really well in this movie. It was overall, I think it was a very well done film. Very
Yeah,
well
I
made.
would-
It's still kind of holds up. I mean, yeah, it's 80s for sure, but it works. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, was Duncan dubbed? That's something I wrote in my notes when I first watched it.
Which one
it
was
my
Duncan?
first note. Is Duncan dubbed? He was the guy who they needed a car from, and they
Oh.
wanted to pretend to be friends, which that really didn't pan out. That like whole plot, because
No.
he just died. They got his car and he died.
Yeah.
But he was there for a long enough time to like have like a meaningful turn in like the whole situation.
Yeah.
But nope, he just died, and then the two friends stayed friends forever.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Now that you mentioned it though, his character, like the way that his audio,
It seemed a little off.
it seemed off. Yeah. I wonder if somebody else did it
Yeah.
or something. I don't know. That's interesting.
Or at least in the beginning, because we don't like in the club. Like
In the
once,
club,
once
there's
we
not
get into
that
the
much,
strip
but-
club, everything just seems kind of fine. He always talks like out of this, like he talks out of his mouth a little funny, you know,
Maybe
like it's
he
like
didn't enunciate well, so they had to have him dub his lines later.
maybe.
That could be it. But yeah, the scene where they first meet him seemed kind of, yeah, like he was
Yeah, it
louder
was
than
kinda- it was
everybody
kinda
else
weird.
too.
Or when they're in the car, I was like, yeah, but yeah, surprisingly little boob for a movie set for the majority in a strip club.
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier when I was watching it, and I was like, I think maybe 2 strippers came on, and I didn't see any boobs, which I'm not complaining because I don't really care.
No,
But
I really dug that. I think when they did show, because I was like, oh, there's like no boob, that's great. And then so I noticed when they did show breasts, but it was like also when Allison was trying to get Keith to like remember her, and she was like spinning a bottle from like across the strip club, and like she was
Oh.
like seeing people stare at her with the and I think it was Candy, because she kept bringing up Candy, so I'm going to assume that was Candy. Like she was the only person I had seen, like, and it was like very quick. It was like a quick little 2-second blip.
oh, see,
of
I didn't even
boobs.
notice it.
Yeah.
I was paying attention to the bottle thing.
She was like standing in front of a dude who was like comatose, like staring at
Like, yeah.
this
Well, I
woman's
mean,
breast. He
that's
like didn't
probably
even
why I was
notice
looking at
her
the
like
bottle.
playing with his trash on the like table right in front of him. She could have done anything. She could have robbed him.
She could have. She should have. Oh my gosh. So yeah.
But yeah, so when Homeboy goes back to Katrina, back to AJ and Katrina, and he like goes and like he's in her room and he's looking at like she's got like a fish tank with like a skull in it and a bunch of like Egyptian art and Andy Warhol posters and things everywhere. And she like swoops up and does this little sexy bit where she's like licking him all over. By the way, I was like, okay, this is going on for a bit. And then at some point, I was reminded of that scene in, what's that John Water? Pink Flamingos? Where they're
Or
like,
they want to lick everything.
yeah.
Yeah. I believe that was Pink Flamingos. Where they
Yeah,
were licking
that
everything,
was
yeah.
gross. That scene in Pink Flamingos. But then she's like doing this like tongue situation on his neck. And he's like so still. I was like, there's no way. There's no way I could sit so still with Grace Jones. His like tongue whipping around. Like there's no way that did not at very least tickle.
Yeah. He did a great acting job. If that were me, I mean, I would have been, I wouldn't have been able to do it. I would have been like, Grace Jones is going to do what now? No, I can't. I'd be squealing the whole time. Oh, this is so cool.
And Grace Jones, being the character she is, would only just do it more. She would like
she totally would.
For like she would like start like working out your toes and shit.
Oh my gosh.
All she ever wants to do is like the opposite of what you expect her to do.
True.
Yeah. Which is a delight. She's a delight.
She really is. I meant to look through her biography because I haven't finished it yet, but I wondered if she talked about the movie at all in that. I have to finish that.
I watched an interview with her talking about the movie. That's how I knew about her like wardrobe and the posters and her collaboration with the artist.
Yeah.
And I can't remember like what she had said, but she was just like, women are powerful. She's gonna be powerful. I'm powerful, and like like she said something about being like the stronger sex, which I thought was funny because she is probably best known for like in her early like music career for being so non-binary in her appearance.
Yeah. Like very masculine.
She was just like it's fun, whatever. In the future, sex won't be a thing.
Well, I also think she's, because I mean, I can see that. I mean, but with her imagery, the way that she, I don't know how to explain that. She did have a lot of masculine visuals, but at the same time, there was a lot of it was very feminine at the same time. It's very weird. She's a fascinating woman in general. It's kind of, Annie Lennox, I feel, did a good balance of that too in the 80s. I think those two, which is probably why I love both of them, but because they both were able to do that very well. I think Grace did it a little bit more than Annie, for sure. I think. Well, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. You know, it's funny now that I mention that. They're one of the songs that Grace Jones has. Every single time it comes on, I always kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, because if I have my music on shuffle or something, every time this one specific song comes on, it gets halfway through the song before I realize it's Grace Jones, because I always think it's the Eurythmics. Every single time. I'm like, I don't remember this. What is this from? And then I'm like, oh, it's Grace Jones. Like it takes me forever to get that in my head that it's
Is it the
not
hula
the
hoop one?
Eurythmics.
Is it the one that she like performed while hula hooping?
No.
Was it Slave to the Rhythm?
No. It was oh, I think it's from Bulletproof Heart too, which is the album where the
Mm-hmm.
song from this sort of got there. Whatever. I'm trying to think of what it is. It might actually be the song Bulletproof Heart. I think it is. I think it is that song. Because even the way that it sounds like Dave Stewart and Annie Lennox composed it too. So, and then her voice sounds more like Annie in that song than Grace. So, I don't know. Whatever. It's fascinating. I love it. Hold on. That just made me think of something. I was watching a movie.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
Annie Lennox
Okay.
composed one of the songs in it. Scoob. It was Scoob. And I was like, what? I took a screenshot of it because I think I was gonna text you about it. Because I was like, and I cannot find any information about this damn song. I mean, you can go to Spotify and listen to it or whatever, but like I can't figure out why is Annie on it? Like, why did she actually write this song? Like, what happened?
Maybe she does. Maybe she composes now. Like, what's his name? Mark Mothersbaugh, who was in
Well, no, it's a
Devo.
legitimate song. Like, it's
Right, but like me. Oh, so she wasn't working as a composer?
no, that would be amazing. Could she please do that? Uh, but I feel like it was. I mean, I don't know. I can't find anything about it. But like, I know if they had sampled her or whatever, then she'd have to be listed as a composer. And it didn't have Dave Stewart, so it wouldn't have been the Eurythmics song. And then I listened to it several times because I was trying to hear a sample. Do you know what I mean? Like if you listen to this is a little more obvious, but the song from The Preacher's Wife that Whitney Houston did, what is it? Step by Step, which was an Annie Lennox song, and Annie Lennox is technically still in Whitney Houston's version. So
Right.
they just used some of hers and then added some lyrics or whatever. So like that's more obvious, but I'm saying like, did Annie just write this song for this purpose and then just that was it? And does she do this all the time? Can I please get a list of these things? What is she doing? Like
she might.
she might be. I mean,
She probably does.
I mean, it's fascinating. It's smart. It's a very smart thing to do. I was thinking about that, like, shit, what was it? Somebody, maybe it was in Spider-Man. I mean, I've seen so many movies recently, I couldn't tell you, but all I was thinking, it was an actress or something in one of the movies, and it was a small part. Like, I was kind of like shocked because I was like, they showed up for like literally less than a minute. And I was like, that was weird. Like, why wasn't she in more of the movie? I love her. It was Patti LuPone, but I can't remember which movie it was. But then I was thinking how smart it was to get involved in something like that. Like, you want me to be in this movie for a few seconds? Absolutely, because it's going to make me a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? Like, especially if it's Marvel. Like, yeah, I'll be in it for a second. Give me that money. Give me that money. Anyway.
Yeah.
But that could be what she was doing. Like getting a paycheck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, she still got to eat.
Yeah.
She still got bills.
She got bills, I'm sure. She got some kind of bills. She's a lovely lady. I'm sure she's fine, but or just working. I mean, I feel like somebody like Annie, even though she might not be working writing music for herself or to put out an album of her own, she probably still writes and works, and I'm sure, right? I guess.
I mean, yeah, why not?
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, that's a completely unrelated fact, but it just fascinated me, so I thought I would share it.
I mean, yeah. Unrelated fact I know about Grace Jones, speaking of her memoir,
Ooh.
she had written in that that I guess when she was like pregnant, like 8 months pregnant, a taxi driver wouldn't like take her to wherever she wanted to go in France, and she was like super pissed about it. So after that, she started keeping eggs on her.
Oh
and
wow.
and whenever apparently there was like a problem where the taxi drivers needed to know where you wanted to go first, and then they'll decide whether or not they'll take you there.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess people drove away so often that she would just egg their cars.
Oh
She would just be
wow.
like, "Now you got to drive to a car wash, Mister."
That's amazing. I love her.
That's so aggressive, but I love it because like also I don't know. Do they? It's not like they're like self-employed, you know?
What, taxi drivers?
Right.
Yeah,
Like they
no.
work. They work for like a company.
Yeah.
It's not like it's Uber and you can choose whether or not you're going to make that trip.
Yeah.
You know.
Hmm.
So.
That's
So
funny.
yeah. So she would just egg people's cars. I
Do
mean, maybe
it.
France is different, but
Do
either
it.
way, you know, she was hurt.
Yeah.
And
That's
I mean,
weird
people are
though.
rude as
What? I
fuck.
mean, hello. What? That's really strange. Don't pick up Grace Jones. Fuck you. They deserve to get egged.
Yeah.
Ah. So yeah.
Did you know that Tina Turner was a candidate for the role of Katrina, the
I
vampire?
did know that. I did know that.
You
I
did
did
not
not
know?
share,
Oh,
but I knew that.
this guy. I absolutely thought it was something you would have said by now. Talking about Annie Lennox, talking about Grace Jones.
I
I thought
mean,
Tina Turner was going to roll up in here. Then, like, that would
true.
have been a completely different movie. It would have been a completely different dance number. Just been like
Oh
really fast
gosh, it
legs.
would have been like, I'm your private dancer, a dancer for money. Whatever.
Just
I trailed off.
so much faster.
Oh my gosh. Um,
Yeah.
the filming began on January 28th, 1986, the day the Space Shuttle Challenger disaster happened.
What a fun fact.
Yeah,
Did it impact their production in any way?
probably not.
They're probably like, oh,
They're
all
like,
right.
that's sad. Grace.
She's putting like her African clay makeup on.
It was kind of
Day one,
interesting that
full
she shows up in the film. The first time you see her, she's in whiteface, which is really fun. I kind of wish that they did like, I mean, I guess it was supposed to be expression kind of makeup. It wasn't supposed to be realistic white makeup.
No, it was a clay, wasn't it? Isn't it an African clay
Oh
situation?
yeah, I guess so. Because she did do a photo shoot. I don't know if you ever saw it or not, but she did a photo shoot where they painted her to look like a white person, like a ginger with freckles, and
Oh no, I've not.
it is absolutely phenomenal. But it's like it only goes so far down her neck, and then it's just her, and I love it so much. I think it was brilliant. But and she's of course attractive either way. It's like, well, of course you're
Her
attractive.
granddaughter is like a white ginger
Really?
person. Yeah.
You know, I feel like I know
Yeah.
that.
She
was in the
talked about it in an
documentary.
interview. I watched a bunch of interviews with Grace Jones, if you can't tell.
Her
She talked about in an
documentary
interview how
is-
about like they get stopped at airports and people will ask if like the granddaughter is like adopted.
That's funny.
She looks so very, very different.
Yeah. Well, her husband
Which
was
is like, mind your business. Get out of
Wasn't-
here.
wasn't Grace's husband white?
Did she have one or two sons?
I thought
Did
she
she
only
ha-
had one. Maybe I'm wrong.
Then with what's his name? Goudier? that the artist?
It sounds familiar.
Jean-Paul.
Oh, Jean-Paul Gaultier?
Yeah, isn't that the dude?
Okay, now I feel like I'm nuts. Like, give me Grace Jones Wikipedia because how do I not know that? Is that true? Now we're just discovering things about Grace Jones.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's the same last name, Paulo. Is it not?
Hold on. I'm loading it. Let me see here.
Yeah, dog.
Grace
I was
Jones,
right.
Grace Jones. So she...
Were you
Children,
singing
one.
Jolene again?
Grace Jones.
Yeah, dog. You ain't
I'm
gotta live no
begging
more.
of
I'm
you,
right.
please don't eat my man. Wow, I should totally record that. It's my
Maybe.
new fancy microphone.
So, yes, it was the French dude.
Hold on, I am not there yet. Let's see here. No, that's not Jean-Paul Gaultier. Jean-Paul... how would you say that?
I would say Goudier.
No.
Goudet?
Gaud? Gautier is like Gaulier, I think. Girl, I wear his cologne. Don't even.
I don't know.
Jean-Paul Gaude? Goude?
I would say Goudet.
Goudet? It could be. No, there's no accent over it. So
I'm not French.
I think it would just be Jean-Paul
I can barely speak
Goude, maybe.
American English.
Goude? Jean-Paul Goude? That must have been very awkward if they were in the same room together. Jean-Paul Gaultier? Jean-Paul Goude? Jean-Paul Gaultier? Jean-Paul Goude?
I'm pretty sure French people are fine with telling the difference.
Probably. They're like, you stupid Americans, you have no idea how to say our names.
They're completely different names.
All our French listeners, shut it off already. like stop it. Da ba da ba da.
But yeah, he's also white.
Paulo from he was white. So and that's the granddaughter. No, she only has the one kid. Yeah, just the one. I thought so because I feel like she brought that up at the very beginning of her book, and like I said, I've only read the beginning, so I have a limited view of what I know, other than her music, which of course I know very well. But she has a documentary on, I want to say it's on Amazon Prime right now. Yes. It's called, oh God, what is it called? Bloodlight and Bammy, I think it's called. Oh my God, it's so good. But my favorite thing is she shows up to like go on her trip or whatever to see her family. And her luggage is just like these weird box things. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. You have to watch it. Like, they're these just metallic looking boxes. And that's her luggage. I'm like, of course that's your luggage because you're Grace Jones. Like, and my favorite thing about it is like nothing about her is normal. Nothing. And I think that's one of the best things about Grace Jones. I love her. And she's still kicking it, yo. And where is another
she's
album?
Like what? Like she's in her 70s.
Yeah.
She said, and I think it was in her memoir that she said like she'll see her age on
72.
the internet and how it's like she's like everyone's off by like 4 years. or everyone's off and it's roughly by 4 years. She's like, I'm older than that. But she hasn't gone on record to say like her exact year of birth. And so people just have to like guess. And I was like, how fitting to play a vampire.
That's funny. That's great.
Yeah.
No, she's still doing great stuff. But like she needs to do another fucking album because she needs to do another fucking album. I'm just
Does she need to?
There.
Maybe she's just having a good time at home.
I don't think she's as
boxes.
what do you say? How do you say that? she's
How do you
not.
say?
I'm used to people like Prince or whatever. You know, like he puts out constant stuff. I mean, obviously not right now, but uh, not anymore. But he. So I'm used to like a faster pace, but I don't think Grace Jones does that. I think she probably did in the 70s and 80s, but ever since I would say the 90s or so, she just works whenever she wants to work. Like she doesn't, it's not,
That's like a great position to be in.
yeah, she doesn't need to, so she doesn't have to do it. Like,
Yeah.
so if she, because I know Hurricane, her last album, she worked on tracks from that as early as like the 90s, but it came out in like 2000 something, 2000, what year was that? It was, I just saw it listed here. Oh yeah, like 2008 or so.
Right.
So, you know, it took forever for her to finish that kind of stuff. But if you watch the documentary that I was just mentioning, you see her in the recording studio recording, and she's very particular. So it's like you can see it. It's going to take a while. But she also she worked a lot with. I'm going to butcher the name. Damn it.
Just do it. I did.
Iki. I have to see it to say it. Shit. Uh, the designer, she did the costumes for Bram Stoker's Dracula. She was the reason that I picked the movies that we were originally going to do.
Yeah, I remember. I remember exactly who you're talking about.
Shit, what is her freaking name? Hold on, I gotta look it up. This is so much fun for our listeners.
Absolutely.
They're dying for it. They're like, this is
Iko
the content
Ishioka?
Say it again?
Ishioka?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, she worked with her a lot, and like she did the visuals for her, like the costumes and everything for her shows. So, and I believe she still wears some of her stuff, obviously. But yeah, that's
What a delight.
Yeah. Seriously,
Yeah,
can you imagine?
Of,
I do know
speaking
that
of costume design,
Lady Gaga asked to work with her, like, I don't know when, but at some point, and Grace Jones is like, why would I want to do that? This girl copies me. I have no interest in that. Which is funny because I would probably bet that Grace Jones just never responded to her. And then she goes on, like, was it Conan O'Brien or wherever where she said that? And it was like, oh shit. She just told everybody that. Didn't even email you back.
I mean, whatever.
It doesn't matter. It's Grace Jones. She can do whatever the fuck she wants.
Yeah. So I loved the first, well, I guess the second death scene in the movie, where the young woman who had given Katrina the AJ, the non-transient, the person who has people waiting for him. She like apologizes to Grace Jones's Katrina, and the guy like she's like responding like, come take a seat next to me, as though like, you know, she's being forgiven, and the like her henchman dude leaves, and then she shoves her fists right into her chest and like through her back.
Yeah. Like her fingernails
to the back. She like rips out her heart and like starts gnawing on it a little bit. Loved that.
Yeah,
I loved that visual. And then like after that, all the lighting like
the lighting was amazing.
Pink and green. Just like everywhere, even where it had no business being.
I was
like
actually
in the
going to
sewers.
mention that because there's a scene when they're in the sewer systems later where it's lit up pink and it's round, and I was like, Lady Gaga totally got that for her album cover. Like her recent album cover, Chromatica. Like that is literally the cover of her album, except it has just Lady Gaga in the middle of it. Like I was like, ooh, girl, Grace ain't gonna work with you ever. You're just taking all her shit. But that was cool. I love it.
It was delightful. And it was so very intentional. It felt like Sin City. It's very
Yeah,
like
yeah,
stylized. Like I
very
loved
stylish.
it.
Yeah,
And they kept it up and it wasn't distracting from the movie.
no, not at all.
So that was also delightful.
Yeah, I also wanted to mention the girl. So there was like a little girl that was also a vampire thing,
Yeah.
and
The
I don't
one
know
that
how.
everyone kept asking her where her mommy was.
Yeah, but she attacked the albino guy, right? I think so. I think
Or
that was
one
him.
one of the people from the
She
snow
attacked
gang.
one of the guys. Whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
But she latched onto his arm, and then he was like swinging around like frantic, and she was holding on with just
With
her
her mouth
teeth.
only.
And I kept thinking, like, is this a fake girl that he's swinging around? Because the legs moved like a human's would move. So I was like, this is really, how do they do that? Like, it was very impressive, however, they figured out how to do that. Whether if
I
it was a
think they
fake
did
girl or.
I think they did both. They had to have done both. Like they had
Maybe
to
they
have had
had her
like
in like
scenes where like in a
a
harness,
harness.
but then they also like for like the whipping,
Yeah, well,
um,
yeah, because,
have like have a doll.
yeah, that was some frantic whipping. But I was impressed by it. I was like, that's what I'm
That was
saying. Like,
also a long scene, but I was cool with it.
yeah, I was fine with that. I just think like I said before, like I think it holds up pretty well with all of that kind of stuff, like technical stuff. It's still good. Makeup is fantastic. Grace looks crazy, and her death scene was also, which we haven't mentioned yet exactly. I mean, we mentioned part of it, but we didn't mention the end of it, because she kind of like because she's so old, and when light finally hits her, she, it's a crazy sci-fi.
It's like an unmelting situation.
Yeah, but it was very well done. It was very cool. Like the skin was coming off of her face, like really weird.
It was like pulling.
Yeah, it was like really crazy. It would.
Like she
I don't
was
know.
like a
I guess they
like
would
a
have
latex doll the whole time.
something. I don't know how they did it, but they did a great job doing it. However they did it. And but then like her skeleton.
With the middle finger.
Yeah, that was so good. She's like, her little hand is like reaching towards something and like struggling, and then it just like raises up into the air. Well, because the guy's watching, of course, they're all sitting there watching it for like 20 minutes, uh, and it finally like flicks him off, and then it falls over. It's the best thing.
It was so cheesy, but I was delighted. I was
N-
like,
I would have done the same thing at my last ditch effort to flick you off.
yeah. I will say, I wish the approach to the light was a bit stronger. I think that was like one of the few, because it's an older movie, so there's gonna be like weak spots.
Yeah.
But like at first, I was like, oh, she could just jump out of that and get like a scorched like bit, right? Like she can like dive to the other side. It's not like the full room is lit up. Like it's just like because he like
I feel
unveiled
like
the light from the two slats.
the two slats. I feel like they probably could have lit that better to make it more obvious that she was trapped.
That she was trapped in it. Yeah.
Yeah, because it did seem like she probably could have gotten out. But I feel like if the light was strong enough on either side of her, like if they had made it like super solid light coming
Yeah.
on either side, then it would have been scary for her to try to get out of it, and she wouldn't have. But the way that it looked, it was like kind of misty.
It was like, oh, girl, somebody just opened the window. Step over
Just
there.
Step to the side, girl. Step to the side. Isn't that a Beyonce song or something? Step to the right or something like that.
Are you thinking of? I mean, I don't know. I'm not super.
I'm not. I don't know. I should know,
Yeah.
but I don't know. People
Oh,
quote it
another
all the
problem
time,
I
and I have no
had.
clue.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved when they found the vampire lair in the sewers.
Hmm.
Like how there were just like a bunch of coffins everywhere and they were accidentally in that room. I was very confused as to why there were barrels of, what was it, gasoline? Some sort of flammable liquid without lids. Just in the room. When a
Maybe
fire
they.
kills you.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true.
I was
Maybe
like,
it's
oh.
like the only thing they can drink. It's like they're. It's like, what is it? Like, they're only. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like something that you shouldn't have around you, but you have to because, but you got to be careful. I don't know.
Oh,
There's
maybe.
there's probably a word for it.
I mean, we drink water, but we also drown in water.
That's true.
You know, like why would we swim in it if it could kill us? But it just seemed a little. It seemed a little reckless.
It
But like
did. It
whatever,
did.
you know, it's fine. Because I still enjoyed. I enjoyed the film overall, and I really enjoyed the fact that we followed these two characters that seem to have such a very like non-toxic heterosexual love for one another.
Yeah.
Just like a total platonic like love, how Keith couldn't kill AJ and then AJ couldn't kill Keith and like AJ tried to kill himself to protect Keith, and like the support that they gave each other. I was like, "Oh wow. How nice."
I
There was no
agree.
like
I mean,
there was no
I
like
thought
man up.
it was also kind of sexy, but that's just me.
Yeah. I just thought it was a nice thing to see. I was like, "Oh, they're just friends. They're just like actually good friends." And
True.
there isn't some weird competition between the two of them.
Oh, you're right. Actually, now that you mention it,
Yeah.
that was kind of nice. I think their portrayal of them in general was pretty good because they weren't. I don't know how to explain that. They, like I said at the beginning, like they weren't what you expected them to be. Like I expected them to be like stupid and kind of frat house kind of dudes that didn't
Yeah.
know what to do in a situation, and but that wasn't the case at all. They actually did very well. I mean, except for the one dying. But you know, I mean, he was being seduced by Grace Jones, so who would have known? But yeah,
I was looking at my notes, and at some point I wrote, "No more scary vamp face. Was too expensive." And then afterward I wrote, "Wait, vamp death, big makeup."
yeah. Oh yeah.
There it is.
Well,
There's where all
there
the
she
money went.
is.
Because she like had like the massive scary face in the first one, in the first bit, when she was like, "Oh, I'm a vampire."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like very Buffy the Vampire Slayer, except it was full face and not just like the top half.
Yeah. Yeah, it really was too. I bet she had fun doing that. I
Oh,
bet
I
she
bet.
liked it.
She like, because she's not. Well, I guess she was in Conan the Barbarian, huh?
Yeah.
I was gonna say Grace Jones isn't like traditionally an actress.
She was also in a James Bond. She was in
Oh yeah,
A
yeah.
View to
Didn't
a
she
Kill.
spook out that
I'm
one
sorry, what?
dude? Didn't she scare somebody?
I
Who
don't
she
know.
was who she was acting with? She was acting against them,
Oh,
and they were like, "I'm uncomfortable."
yeah. I think they were
Like
intimidated by
during
her.
their scene.
Who was the Bond in that? Was it Sean Connery? No, he wasn't in
Mm-mm.
that one.
I don't think so.
That was probably Roger Moore, I think. I have a poster for it because it's a painting of Grace Jones. I mean, she's standing next to James Bond or whatever, but
Roger Moore,
Roger Moore. Okay,
A View to Kill.
yeah, it's not a very good one, but it's fun.
Oh, I bet.
Of course, Grace is fantastic. I don't think she talked in that one either, did she? Has she talked in any movies?
She talked in Conan, right?
Did she? I don't remember.
I
Now I'm
think
gonna
she
have to
did.
I feel like I'm gonna have to rewatch
Oh,
Grace
it wasn't
Jones.
Conan the Barbarian, by the way. It was Conan the Destroyer. That's my bad. Pretty sure she talked in that one. In any case.
Whatever. Anyway, so is
What would
that
you rate the movie?
what would I? Oh, hmm. I was gonna ask you that, and look at me, I'm blanking. I would
Wait,
say,
before you finish,
yeah.
I have one fact that I really wanted to say
Oh,
that I did not say,
okay.
that I wrote down, that I just saw. And it has no relation to the movie. It's just about Grace Jones and how she was banned from Disney.
She was banned
She has a
from
lifetime
Disney.
ban from Disney because I guess in downtown Disney, which I guess is it's called something else now. But in downtown Disney at the House of Blues in Florida, she I guess she was like had a performance there and she took off her top and then lit a doobie. And they're like, "Don't come back."
That's amazing, and
Right?
it's
And
Grace
like she was known
Jones.
for
I,
doing stuff like that.
I feel
And they
like
were
if
like,
you
"Please don't do
book
that."
Grace Jones, you should probably have some idea of what the fuck she does. God.
Yeah, and I think they were like, if like, we're kind of like our family like oriented place. So
Oh, give me a break.
like
Who
do
is
you under,
going? What?
do you
Who's bringing
understand?
children to see Grace Jones? I mean, I would, but
I mean, they could just be in downtown Disney, like
in the House of Blues,
Disney
though,
Springs. That's what it's called now.
it's like a
Took
thing.
me a
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. But the
Um,
House of Blues is like a concert venue. Like you go inside. It's not like it's just willy nilly. Anybody can see it.
oh, I was thinking of. Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
But I'm saying like, whatever. Like you don't bring your kids to see that if you don't want them to see
Maybe
that.
people think that if Grace Jones is in Disney, it might be an edited version of Grace Jones.
Yeah.
Maybe they're hopeful.
Good luck.
Because Disney like
Good
edits
luck.
all of their stuff. Like look at look at the Disney Plus and Splash.
Oh God. I honestly cannot believe that they're able to do that. I don't think they should be able to do that. I think that's
To
fucked up.
like censor out
Yes.
homegirl's
What?
butt.
I mean, hello. No. And even funnier is like we watched that as kids all the time. And did anything happen to us because we saw a butt? No. I mean, what? Who cares? It's not like it was her vagina spread eagle on the camera for like 10 minutes. Like,
For 10 minutes. Not even like a little shot like in Basic Instinct.
well, it's an 80s movie, so it would have been a slow with like lots of shots to other people who are staring at it like, what? 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 Oh gosh. Oh gross. No, fuck all that. I can't stand it. I actually was gonna say something about that. Not on
About
the
Disney
podcast,
Plus?
but just in life in general. And I can't remember what it was. I had a good argument about it. Against it, obviously. But I can't remember what it was. Whatever, who cares? So they shouldn't be able
What'd
to
you
do
think?
that though. I still don't understand how, because that was, who directed that? Was it Ron Howard?
Yeah.
I think it was. So why would he agree to that? That's what I want to know. Like, I don't understand how a filmmaker would agree to let them do that. It doesn't make any sense to me. Unless it's George Lucas, because if it was George Lucas, he would
Well,
just do it
he
anyway.
also like Disney might own right to censor it because like if people license a movie to play on TV, they censor it, right?
Well,
So Disney
yeah,
Plus
but
might have the
I'm
same
paying my
type of
money.
liberties that like TLC would.
I'm paying my money, though. I'm paying my money. I don't want to see a fucking digital bunch of hair on Daryl Hannah's ass. Like, that's not what I came here for. I mean, I didn't
Yeah,
come
it
here
was
for
really
that
weird.
anyway.
Like, and when you see it, it's like, oh, I wouldn't have noticed that there was a butt until you made that weird edit.
That's the other thing. It's like it's 2020. You just did the Lion King, supposed live action. Like you didn't have any of those special effects people to come and do Daryl Hannah's hair to cover her ass. Like,
Yeah,
did you
or
have a
borrow the people
child do it?
who did the Tomb Raider game for the tress effects of the hair.
God,
So it
I
had a
just
natural bounce.
like if you're gonna do something, do it logically. Like whatever.
Yeah.
Anger. So yeah.
Yeah.
Don't put Vamp on Disney Plus. That's what we're saying.
What would they edit?
Everything.
Just Candy's
It'd
boobs
be a
that you didn't
10-minute
even
movie
notice?
where Grace Jones isn't even in it.
They take out her whole dance. It's too seductive.
They would literally take out all of Grace Jones. Like you might see a clip of like her hand or something. They wouldn't even flick it off though. They'd have to edit that out too. It would have her
Oh.
waving.
Or just like a fist. They just edit out the middle
Ugh.
finger.
God, fuck that.
It's just shaking.
I'm gonna give this I don't know. That's tricky. I want to give it more toes than I would something else. Because I like it so much. I'm gonna give it 8 toes.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
I would say 6.5, 7. Because it is a delight. I really do.
It really
7.
yeah. It's
It's a
very,
delight.
yeah.
And I think that's where
I'm
I
giving it
put most-
extra points because of Grace and because of Keith Haring. That's my thing. What was that?
Right on.
Oh, I feel like I just
Right
made a
on.
weird
I
noise.
really liked the lighting.
Oh
It
yes,
a
that
nice
was good
little,
too. Yeah.
Nice little romp. What would you recommend for it if people liked this?
Oh.
Oh, yeah, you forgot that you made us do that too.
Yeah, I forgot I made you do all kinds of things. Well,
So I would say if you liked this, but you want something more kid-friendly, go toward Adventures in Babysitting, or Night of the. Well, this is that's it for family-friendly. Night of the Creeps, maybe, would be another.
ooh, I know what I would recommend.
Or if you want something like, I don't know, like a bigger type of production, From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh.
Because it's like a Dusk Till Dawn situation. They have to like survive the night.
I was gonna say I would go with Warriors.
Warriors.
I love that movie. Or that other one. That movie. What was that other movie? There was one oh shit.
Like The Lost Boys?
No. It has no vampires in it.
West Side Story.
Yes.
I mean, Lost Boys is good if you like vampires.
Actually, yeah, that would be fine. But no. The Emilio Estevez gets trapped in
Mighty Ducks.
the bad part of a city. What is that movie?
What are you talking about? Keep going.
And he has to fight his way out. That's the movie.
He has to fight his way out of like the bad part of a city.
Yeah. Oh God, what is it called?
The outside? No, it's not The
No.
Outsiders.
No.
Is it a horror movie?
No. It's like an action kind of thing. I don't know. How do you spell his name? There he is. I want to say Urban. No. Shit. What is it called? Somebody made me watch it like years and years and years ago, and I was like, "What are you making me watch?" And I was like, "This is really fun."
I cannot help you. Maximum Overdrive?
No.
Is it Young Guns?
No. Judgment Night. There it is. Yeah, that's it. It's called Judgment Night. It's from it's from 1993. I thought it was from the 80s. So that's a bad movie. But watch it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Cuba Gooding Jr.'s in it. Dennis Leary. That's fun. It's a fun romp through the bad part
Well,
of the city.
that sounds like a romp.
Wish they were rompers. That would have been awesome. Have a romp and a romper in the
Ooh,
bad
that
part of the city.
sounds like a blast. Yeah.
So yeah, those are mine.
Right on. What do we?
That's your choice.
Oh no.
Hot.
Oh no. Hold on, I've got a list.
We watch all of these next week.
I still kind of want to watch a bit of horror.
Yeah, why not?
Let's do 28 Days Later.
Ah, schlong. I like
Honestly, the list is alphabetized.
Look, the first one you said has schlong in it, so I'm good.
Oh.
Penis, give me some penis.
Oh yeah, in like the first few minutes. Yeah.
Heck yeah, and it's a super hot dude penis.
Yeah, and topical. Some infectious disease plaguing the world.
Now, where is my naked man on a bed during this pandemic? Damn it.
It's you,
Oh, yeah,
Johnny.
that's right.
Some people have to be the naked man on the bed.
Well, that would be me. You got me.
Yeah.
Okay. So join us next week or whenever. Whenever it may be that we do it.
We didn't give a date.
I mean, we said that last time and it took forever. So yeah, bye.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, bye-bye. How are we to know?
Corona. Oh. Bye.
Bye.
Oh gosh. Oh.